This week has been an absolutely wild week for not just the country, but for the entire world. After the DOJ released millions of new documents last week, people are still finding things in this release that are raising questions about what exactly was happening in Epstein's inner circle. And I mean, just for an example, this FBI document that talks about an alleged complaint regarding 2 foreign girls allegedly buried on Zorro Ranch that died from alleged strangulation from rough fetish and the supposed videos that came along with it. I'll get into that later. But right now, Polish authorities are digging into the possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was a Russian spy. On Tuesday of this week, during a government meeting, Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, reportedly said more and more leads, more and more information, and more commentary in the global press all relate to the suspicion that this unprecedented pedophilia scandal was co-organized by Russian intelligence services. This can only mean that they also possess compromising materials against many leaders still active today. Now, what I also want to bring up, according to the New York Post, Putin's name came up nearly 1,000 times in the batch of Epstein files that were released, and there are almost 10,000 references to Moscow. The Kremlin has since denied that they had any ties to Epstein. I want to show you something regarding the Epstein files and Trump. Take a look at this clip of Trump getting questioned about the Epstein files, and I want you to notice how he reacts.
Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead.
So right there, he's being questioned by a CNN reporter about the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. And then he goes on to say, like you just saw, we should all just move on from this. It's not really that big of a deal, which is definitely an interesting take. Now, I want to move on to a file that is deeply disturbing, if it is true. What you're looking at right here is an unclassified file from the FBI. Now, this document states that a man named Edward Aragon, who owns his own radio show where he conducts his own extensive research into the Epstein files, filed a complaint to the FBI that he allegedly received this email. Now, I want to say that whether this email is real or has any validity to it, we have no idea, but we do think it's interesting. Everything stated in this email, again, is alleged and has not yet been proven, but the email reads as follows. Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all, as a former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein home as my insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know that somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish. It's then followed by supposed links to these videos, and the sender subsequently asks for 1 Bitcoin for the physical USB containing these videos to be sent to Aragon. Now, this gives us a very interesting look into the dichotomy of what's real or not regarding the files. It's important to keep in mind what the White House and DOJ are saying in light of this release, which you can see right here. But obviously, When people comb through these files that were released by the DOJ and they see emails like this, it's up to them whether to decide what they're seeing is real or fake. There's a lot of speculation regarding these files. There's a lot of misinformation regarding these files. So we want to hear what you guys think. Let us know in the comments whether or not you think there's any validity to the email, whether you think there's any validity to the claim that Epstein was involved with Russia. We're very interested to hear what you have to say. As always, my name is Jakson Buhaj, and I will see you guys in the next one.